The World Championships have come and gone, and the next era of Destiny begins. As we start over on the path towards Year 3, we're joined by Edwin Chen, reigning World Champion, to discuss his experience at this last year's Worlds.
And looking forward, we talk about all the new stuff. Dark Saber, Plo Koon, Nationals prizes, and more.
This is episode 86, Worlds Recap, with Edwin Chen.
I've been well trained.
No. You don't have to carry a sword to be powerful.
I won't fail you.
Oh, do not.
I'm not afraid.
There is no try.
Well, everyone, welcome to another episode of the Chance Cube Live, here fresh off of our trip to Worlds. Kimmy Breeze and I were over at the Fantasy Flight Game Center for the entire week, streaming as much Destiny as possible, trying to play a little bit. We each got a couple of games in, but
yeah, I got like one.
Yeah,
we realized the deck was really bad. No, I did one and I did draft, and that was it.
Yeah, but no, it was a lot. I mean, it was a lot of fun because we saw, I think every content creator on the face of the earth was there. So we got to hang out with them. That was really cool to see everyone in person, meet everyone in person. The Canto Bite Players Club, the Chance Cube's competitive team, was there representing. We had about 4 or 5 members there who were super fun to hang out with and meet finally for the first time in person.
Yeah, face to face. You talk to them all the time, but you don't. It's always interesting that you talk to someone often enough, but you actually hadn't met face to face. We ran into that about a year ago. That you and I have done the show together forever, but had never met face to face. So that is always a great experience. And yeah, back to the content providers. Wow, we're in really good company.
We are.
There's some awesome content providers out there. And they're even nicer in person. So that was really cool.
For sure. Huge shout out to the Knights of Ren and Your Destiny podcast, who loaned us their hosts for the commentating the Chance Cube Open on Tuesday night. You can head back on our Twitch stream videos and check out that. All of our videos from the week will be released to YouTube as quickly as we can flip them. It'll take us a while to download them and re-render them with halfway decent YouTube presentable type stuff on them. But we're going to get them out as quickly as possible, preferably before the new meta starts.
That'd be good.
Yeah, so I think we'll start dropping them on this week. Both the Chance Cube Open, as well as day 1, 2, 3 of Swiss. We had the top table for, I think, every single match except for one.
Yeah, there was one that we actually did move down to table 17, and that was just because of player preference.
Right.
They had asked not to be on stream, and we absolutely respect that, so we just very quickly moved the mobile rig down.
Yeah.
Didn't trip anybody, didn't fall on our own faces, so that was pretty good. Maybe
we did a little bit.
Not moving the rig. I can at least testify to that. But, and you mentioned Your Destiny. Claus from that particular podcast was the runner-up. So he came in very quietly on day, I think he played on Saturday. Mm-hmm. I think that's when he didn't finish undefeated, but he still moved on to the next day. Just very quietly creeped his way right on up the ranks to all of a sudden he was sitting at that finals table.
You're thinking of Mads. Claus was his...
Mads! Claus! Sorry, I got my
right?
Claus was a man with boundless energy. Like, he never stopped. It was amazing.
Yeah.
He was zooming around every time I saw him, always on the go somewhere, and always had a smile on his face.
Yeah, they were great.
What two charming fellas from...
Absolutely. Poland. Very cool. I see your Chewbacca koozie there has a for rent sign on the bottom of it.
It does. So if anybody wants to give a shout out to someone for a small donation to the Chance Cube, I will gladly put anything you want that's clean, and I'll share it on the stream. You got a site you want to advertise? You want to ask your girlfriend to marry you? Whatever, we're here for you. We'll do it all.
I don't know if that's the best idea or the worst idea you ever had.
You never know.
Either way, I love it.
If you got some dad jokes you want me to put on here, it's fine.
That's great. So we got an action-packed show for you guys today. Edwin Chen will be joining us later on to talk about his victory at Worlds. He's been on the show before when he did the Galactic Qualifier. He was he kind of was the pioneer of the R2-P2 deck, or at least the first one to kind of pilot it to great success. And he's going back to talk about his run with Anakin Kylo, which won him went undefeated. He got defeated once in Swiss, and then of course climbed his way to the finals to win. against some really tough opponents.
He did. Oh my gosh, he played some of the best in the community. What a showing just from the Hyperloops. Had several individuals. Destiny Council had a ton of folks that moved on to day 2. D-Hoss came out of nowhere and moved on to day 2. He was absolutely quite a force to be reckoned with. There was a lot of challenging matches for Edwin to get to that win.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Now it'd be a miss to we're missing one of our pals tonight.
Oh yeah.
And I'm sad. I miss my good buddy Mike Hill, who has adult life responsibilities that have gotten in the way of all of his fun. But we miss you, buddy, and he'll be back soon.
Yeah, we get Mike back as soon as his schedule fits in with this podcast, because we do miss him. It's hard. And as much as I love doing a show with just Kim, who's right here, I miss there's usually a mic right here. So
I know, I miss my buddy.
Absolutely. But we'll do our best.
Me drive Jason crazy. So
that's not hard. We'll do our best to provide you guys a show sans Mike, and do our darndest to make it look good too in the process, because he usually does all the fancy dancy stuff, and I'm doing my best to fill in. But
You're doing a good job.
Oh well, thanks. Speaking of new stuff and things, the stuff at Worlds, they gave out these shirts for the like people who played the main event. Oh, shirt.
I didn't get one of those because they wouldn't sell them. If they would have just said here, I would have said take my money. But you could not get one of those unless you got a ticket, and I didn't have a golden ticket. Yeah, and the shirts themselves, each of the games that was featured there got a shirt with the game's logo on it, which is great because there isn't anything out there that's branded to Destiny. So now you can really show off your love for the game. The back has the World Championship logo 2018 on it. And then all the participants in the main event got the Palpatine full art card. If you saw this on stream, Jason was super duper excited about this and kind of made a similar face to Palpatine that I wish I could go back and get a screen grab of. It was fantastic. Yeah, like that one.
Yeah, so that was that.
His birthday that he just recently celebrated. That's what I need.
And then the people who finished at least three wins, or had enough prize tickets, could get the Spot Gloss Kanan. This was very popular.
That's one of the coolest cards. I don't know what it is, just maybe because it has the extra bling on it. It's such a cool card.
Yeah, it's got the embossed Worlds 18 logo on it, which is just a nice touch.
It's just a sharp looking card.
It is, absolutely.
And there were sleeves. Did you get sleeves? I can't remember if you got any of the World sleeves.
Yeah, the World sleeves came with the shirt, and they gave a binder, which I do not have handy, a little 4x4 card binder, which is actually really nice. I thought they were giving out dice binders, when I would have had to say no thank you, but
you wouldn't have been able to carry it.
No.
I, on the other hand, it wasn't a Worlds promo, but at the Knights of Ren Happy Hour, I won an amazing huge deck box that I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do with. But
right. Yeah, that is a cool deck box.
Much to Matt Cousineau's dismay that I won it instead of him. But I've been with that for years.
There were two other big prizes there. One I didn't pick up was the Spot Gloss Hondo. That was
hot.
That was a hot commodity. There were only 50 a day. You need 120 prize tickets to get it, which is quite a lot of grind. Not too much grinding. It's definitely doable.
But it'll keep you busy.
It does keep you busy for sure.
Unless you're really good, which it took me a lot longer to get tickets.
And then for 30 prize tickets, they were doing the entire Battle Droid set, which is what I wanted.
Jason was so geeked out about this. It is one of the coolest things ever.
It's a mural. You put them side by side.
So smart to do this.
Yep. And you know what? When a Battle Droid dies, you know what you do? You flip it over. And it blows up.
It's exploded.
They put a lot of time and effort in these cards. I think
I like that extra touch that they've added to these now. I think they're starting to understand the community really likes these alternate art cards or full art cards. So they're giving us a little bit more than maybe what we saw, year one or so. I don't think we're going to see, and they're giving us cards that we play. I'm looking at you, BB-8, for the national championship.
Hey, BB-8. No, never mind.
Three people play that card. I mean,
3 people play BB-8. Excellent. Well, not to keep harping on Worlds. Let's spend a few minutes talking about new things that are coming up.
Let me take that back, huh? You'll find what you need.
So there were a couple of new cards spoiled.
3
cards were spoiled this weekend during Worlds. It kind of they came in. I know a lot of Facebook groups were talking. Those of us who were at Worlds were just kind of like focused on Worlds, so it was really hard to get our heads wrapped around it. But it's about high time we talk about these cards.
I think so, except they're giant question marks on my screen, so I'm gonna have to pull them up.
Yes. I don't know why the giant question marks on your screen, but the first of which is we have the Dark Saber, and the Dark Saber is quite an interesting card here.
They did a nice little segue of like, look, we put this really cool art on the player mat. Ta-da! It's a card that we're gonna spoil too.
Right, and
I think they got their marketing correctly linked up. Maybe sometimes a challenge, but
but the Dark Saber is quite an interesting card here. It is a 4 resource cost yellow weapon upgrade. It has 2 melee, 3 melee, 2 focus, a discard, a shield, and a resource. So no blank sides on this card. It is a redeploy weapon, and it's before you resolve this die, increases value by 1 if attached to a character of 15 or more points, or by 2 instead if the attached character is 20 or more points. So if this card at 4 resource cost is attached to, say, Sabine or Bo-Katan, all these sides are increased by 2.
Which is crazy.
Right. I mean, you're looking at a 4 melee, 5 melee, 4 focus, 3 discard, 3 shield, 3 resource.
It's still going to be so hard to get out. That cost is hard to get around.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, totally agree.
I'm not saying the payout isn't worth it, but this is one that you're going to have to... It's going to have to be a clever build that either generates resources really well, or you're going to have to sit on your resources and hope they don't get disrupted.
Mm-hmm.
And chances are, your opponents, if you're running yellow, is going to be looking for this in your deck. They're going to be anticipating it, at least early on, until we figure out where this fits in the meta.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And this is a neutral card, so it can go on either hero or villain characters. And if you want to look at a list of characters that currently sit at above 20 points for their elite status, you have Bo-Katan from Way of the Force.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Darth Vader, Grievous, IG-88, Jyn Erso, K2SO, the original Luke Skywalker, Mace Windu, Obi-Wan Kenobi, both normal and elite Palpatine, although elite Palpatine, you'd never be able to fit this in your deck because you never be able to play yellow character. The Legacies Palpatine, and Sabine Wren. So
I see this going... Yeah. I think Sabine will be the most likely candidate. K2, you'd have to pay too much to put it out.
Yeah, because K2's ability. Yep.
Or lack thereof ability.
Anti-ability.
Anti-ability, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no blanks on this. It's certainly this... And it has redeploy, so it can stay out there for a really long time.
For sure.
It's the cost I have trouble getting around.
Yeah.
It'll still see a lot of play. I think it'll take a little time to see how much that's going to be. Yeah.
4 resource cost is a lot, and there's ways to kind of generate the resources. We've seen recently with some decks that kind of can crank out money real fast, but it's going to be a card...
You had all the resources when I played you the other day.
Yeah, well, I did.
You could have rolled this out and had money to spare.
Those vehicle decks tend to generate these resources with characters that are not powerful at all. It would be interesting to see if this inspires a revisit of Vader Raider.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
I don't know how you generate the funds, but anyway.
You can always throw on Chance Cube. Shameless
there you
plug.
go. Shameless plug.
Well, I did see that in a lot of decks, though. And that's one way to get around it. I mean, that's one way to... If you roll it well, and whenever I saw it played, it was... Matt Cousineau was playing it, rolled up pretty well.
Sure.
This is an interesting card. I'm hesitant because I know I struggle to generate resources, but at the same time, why wouldn't you put it in there? Because you can always override.
Mm-hmm. For sure. The next card that was spoiled was was Plo Koon, Jedi Protector.
He's got a cool ability.
He has got a cool ability for 11 at normal and 14 at elite, which is nice and low. 1 melee, 2 melee, 1 focus, 1 shield, 1 resource, a blank. This character has the abilities of each non-unique character you have in play. So that's pretty interesting that he gets the ability of each character. There's been a lot of scuttlebutt out there on what characters to play him with. Mildex would love playing him with 2 Jedi Partisans. And then every indirect damage becomes... the first indirect damage of each round becomes 4 discarded off the top of a deck instead of 2. Because they do stack.
So I saw a lot of conversation about stacking Padawan with him.
Stacking 2 Padawans so the first weapon is 2 cheaper. That is a thing. I actually asked Jeremy today about the Clone Trooper, because the Clone Trooper, when you roll his die in, you have the ability to re-roll it or something. Plo Koon could only re-roll 1 of his die if he was being played elite instead of both of them. It kind of reads weird, but you could stack a couple of them on there. I mean, it makes him flexible, right? It makes him the ability to...
he's all kinds of flexible. And his size aren't bad for his cost. I mean, 1 melee, 2 melee, 1 focus, 1 shield, 1 resource, and a blank. 10 health is pretty average, right in the middle.
And you're going to be putting him in a deck with at least 1 non-unique.
Oh, yeah, because then otherwise, why would you be playing him?
Right.
Unless you're playing draft or something crazy.
And then they also snuck in his Starfighter, which is 3 resources to play. It's a support vehicle, 2 range, 3 range for $1, 1 disrupt, 1 shield, 1 resource, and a blank. And then after you activate the support, you may turn one of your non-unique character dice to any side. If you spot Plo Koon, you may resolve that die. So
That's
as long
pretty
as
nice.
Plo is alive, you can kind of do a focus and a resolve real fast. In a way, it's kind of like a little Maz, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of got a faux Maz ability here.
Yeah.
So
that pay side 3 kind of stinks. I'd prefer to, but overall, that's not a bad vehicle to get out.
No, and maybe you're looking at Plo with a hired gun or 2. You know, get some resources out there, and hired gun's got some pretty beefy pay sides on him as well. But you get hired gun to generate some resources, and then get Plo Koon Starfighter out there to flip them to 3s and PQ people constantly.
Yeah, I feel like you play this for its ability more than anything else.
Absolutely.
That's why you're gonna play the Starfighter. Hey, if it rolls out a couple pews of damage, that's cool. But overall, I'm just really playing it to be able to turn a die and resolve it, which makes sense.
100%.
It's gonna speed things up a little bit. I mean, the meta kind of slowed down some to an extent. This may speed it back up just a smidge with having you or your opponent resolving die that you can't interrupt.
Right. No, that's a good move, I think. It's going to be a lot of fun with that one.
Yeah, play some Plo Maz and then try to figure out how you need to
Plo Maz.
That sounds too complicated. That's thinky because you'd almost need a little counter. Do I have?
So, aside from that, there was also a buzz around Gen Con and the North American Championships. So I think that was, there's this drive to get the information about OP out faster, get some information about some prizes. So they released the prizes for Gen Con, which is, I guess, the North American Championships. They've got this sweet Dr. Aphra alt art.
It's so cool.
Which looks great.
The second I saw this, I went, oh, Mike Hill's going to want that. And he's going to be at Gen Con, so I hope he can get his hands on one.
Right.
He loves it. He loves Dr. Aphra.
So what a beautiful card this is. If you make it to day 2, they've got these resource tokens, which they usually do a pretty good job with these slick tokens here. The top 64 are going to get this beautiful double-sided Rey and Kylo card. Absolutely.
To me, I think that goes back to they're stepping up their game in alternate art. That's not like what we've seen of other stuff. This is a totally different style and being two-sided.
Yeah, I saw you mention that on Facebook today when someone else was talking about this. This is
when I was on a break at work, not on Facebook.
What? Sorry. And then the top 32, they're kind of moving into this binder realm, and the top 32 will get this we'll get
They're
this
gonna make it
binder.
a thing.
It's gonna probably looks like a 4x4 card binder.
They're gonna make binders a thing. Next, it'll be Trapper Keepers.
And then, of course, the medals, and then the top 8 will get the sweet Afro playmats. So it seems like
cool.
there's a theme of Afro mats here right now.
That may be my new favorite playmat.
That's pretty sweet. Do have to say.
I think though. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say the top 4 are getting seats to Worlds, which is different than.
No, really.
So top 4 get seats to Worlds.
I didn't see that.
But the winner gets the flight and room paid for.
Ooh, Fantasy Flight dodged a bullet. That Mads didn't win because they would have had to pay for it to fly from Poland next year. That's cool. That's a cool thing that they're doing. Excuse me. What I started to say, though, is while we were at Worlds, events launched for Gen Con. So I don't know seats left for this event. You can always still camp if you're going to be at Gen Con anyway. There'll always be people that register and don't show up, so there's always that option. But I checked their website to see if you can actually still get registered for the event. I feel like I saw somewhere it was full.
For sure. It's possible. Nationals is Gen Con's a big draw for everybody, and Nationals is a good destination to go to get some solid Destiny gameplay in. And it'll be interesting to see. I don't think we're going to be at the Way of the Force yet by then.
Because that's August.
I don't think we know yet.
We don't know.
Q2, Q3. If it's possible it could release in time, I'm more likely it would release before Nova. But even those 2 events are pretty close than the U.S. Championship. So
I'm gonna say because that's just because Nova's the end of August and
yeah,
Gen
they're
Con's
just 3 weeks apart for sure.
Yikes! Boy, if that launch it then, that could be a very interesting short, meta for the time being.
And last but not least, just a note that we will be at the Galactic Qualifiers at KublaCon at the end of this month. My wife Sarah and I will be meeting up with the Mike Hill to bring some coverage and to play some of the events up there. Should be super fun. Also, that is the release weekend for Solo, so we already
blah 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 blah. I'm so bummed I can't go with you guys
for that. Well, I'm
literally everyone else in my department of work is off, so there's no way I can disappear and someone not notice at that point.
Well,
I might take a long lunch to go watch Solo. They may not notice that, but
at your own risk, I say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the news. That's all fit to print. It's a lot of stuff been going on. But I would like to spend a moment talking about a card that was a little bit unexpected for me, but made a huge showing at Worlds.
Hello, what have we here?
So, scruffy-looking Nerf Herder is the card that I was a little surprised about, maybe just because I'm not as deep in the conversation of deck building as a lot of people are. But the Legacy's 120, real and resource cost to play. It is a hero event, scruffy-looking Nerf Herder. Choose one of the following card types: event, support, or upgrade. Then look at an opponent's hand and discard a card of the chosen type from it. So this is very much a card that's in the same vein as like Friends in Low Places. Be able to look at your opponent's hand and then pick a card out of it. And it's the same vein as Thrawn. I mean, there's a lot of cards that are coming into the game that allow you to kind of do that pixies, so to speak. But this one is so much more flexible. And I think it's a response to like getting rid of something like Hyperspace Jumper, things that those other cards can't do because those cards have high resource costs. This one can target those cards and get rid of them.
Yeah, and even if you guess wrong, so even if you choose the wrong card type, you still get to look at your opponent's hand.
Absolutely.
For 1 resource cost. And that at least helps you know what's coming, what they could be working towards, and so maybe if they are building up something, okay, well now I know I need to do some of their resources, or maybe I should, what kind of removal do they have in their hands? I need to resolve my damage.
For sure. And with the kind of vagueness of event support or upgrade, I mean, it's very unlikely you're not going to hit one of those if you even have a remote sense of what your opponent's trying to do. There's going to be one of those cards. Maybe not supports, depending on the deck they're playing, but certainly events or upgrades are likely going to be in their hand, unless they're playing a vehicle deck, in which case there'll be no events, or no supports, potentially. Although that's changing. Events, supports, upgrades. You guys know what I'm talking about. Supports are
Words.
vehicles. Words are hard. It's been a long week.
It's like math.
Right.
No, yeah, to that point, yeah, it depends on, and that's one of the things that I kind of made a note of to touch on for this is that's where those gauntlets that you run, where you prepare for the decks that you're going to face, understanding that deck that's on the other side of the table from you would be huge with this. So if you already have a good idea of what the general build is for that kind of deck, and again, yeah, a hero vehicle deck's gonna have supports in it. What are you most afraid of? What do you want to get out of their hand? So for one resource cost, if you're playing yellow hero, I would say this is one you would definitely want to start including. It's a fairly easy opportunity to see their hand and get something out of it that could help you in the future.
Absolutely, and it's a Legacies card, so it's going to be in the meta for a while. This is a key card that should be thought of anytime you're playing yellow hero. So continue to don't pass this one up. I think we're learning a lot from the skilled players what control really means, and you can pick that one critical card out of their hands that can win you the game because they can no longer, whether it's easy pickings or they can't get that Y-wing down on the table or what, whatever it is. This is flexible and versatile and can win you that game.
That's awesome.
I love it. And you know what else I love, Kim?
Me! Oh, no.
Well, I do.
Giving stuff away.
I like giving things away. So here we go.
Look, I ain't in this for your revolution, and I'm not in it for you, Princess. I expect to be well paid. I'm in it for the money.
You guys probably thought we forgot about you in the giveaway, but we did not. Not in the least. Rex has been here quietly digesting all of your answers.
We named him Rex?
Yeah. Maybe you weren't on that show. I don't remember. So we'd ask you, what are your top 5 Star Wars Destiny cards to date? That's kind of what we talked about in our last show. And a lot of you guys mentioned cards. Yeah, saw a lot of them at Worlds. Someone mentioned one that I can't believe that I forgot. Field Medic. It's like one of my all-time. Because that was a card that I wore that card. Lots of Force Illusions. Easy Pickings were mentioned. So great cards. So we are giving away... these are the promos from... Remind me again, Jason, which...
Okay.
The most recent one?
The most recent giveaway?
No, the promos.
Phasma Poe? Yeah. I think we're doing the Phasma Poe.
No, those aren't it.
Those aren't
Not
it?
in our picture. Our picture, it's the Arabish... I think it's a Jedi Temple card and Anakin.
Yes, sorry. These guys.
Sorry, guys. It's been a couple weeks. Yeah, those guys.
Yeah,
those
the
guys.
Arabesh. These are the Legacies release promos. The
That's
Arabesh Veteran Trooper, Jedi Temple Guard, and...
There's some great
That
artwork
one.
on those cards.
Yes.
We talked about what that one was, and I don't remember. So our winner this week is Eric Canny. Eric said his favorite cards were Obi-Wan Kenobi from Legacies. Totally on board with that one. I Am Your Father, and he says, love the creator humor with losing your hand. And I'd forgotten about that, and I was like, oh,
Have you thought about that? That's funny.
One with the Force. We saw a lot of that. The Comic-Con promo Vader, because it's just such a wonderful picture, and probably my absolute favorite is, I can't read my own handwriting. Is it Ataru Strike?
Oh, Ataru Strike. Yes.
Ataru Strike. Sorry, yep, losing my Star Wars card again.
No, you're fine.
So, congrats to Eric. If you want to shoot us a message over on our Facebook page with your address and such, we will get those promos out in the mail to you.
Absolutely.
And for everybody else, we're going to jump ahead. We're going to give you another question that I hope to see a lot of great answers for.
For sure. So, with the looking forward towards Way of the Force, Bo-Katan is a character that was spoiled about 2 or 3 weeks back when FFG released an article. Bo-Katan is bringing a unique ability with her to the next set, allowing her to bring in yellow villain upgrades into a hero deck. So we're going to ask you, what yellow upgrades would you include in a deck build with her? And do remember that her point cost is a little pricey, so the potential pairings for her are a little on the slim side. The winner next week, randomly drawn out of Rex, the AT-AT, will get our brand new Chance Cube Power Action token.
Those are pretty awesome. I don't even have one of them.
Made from a little smoky gray acrylic. We meant to take them to Worlds, and they got stuck in my mailbox. So I'm sorry, Kim.
Next year.
You know what? But I'll get you one because I like.
Next year we'll have cool stuff to hand out at Worlds that isn't trapped in our mailboxes. It's all good. It's all good. It happens. The mailman does that kind of stuff to me all the time.
Anyway, so we're going to take a quick break with a message from our sponsor, and then we'll be back with Edwin Chen.
You know, Mike, I just can't seem to get the cards I need in the booster packs I've bought. I'm still missing a Mother Talzin, a Darth Maul, and I need some more battle droids. That 5-wide droid deck isn't going to build itself, and I have all these extra Yodas.
Seriously, Kim, I told you, check out Armada Games. You can buy and sell Destiny cards on their website, shoparmada.com. It's just a few simple clicks and bam, you are done. I used it just the other day, and now I got two Maul Sabers heading my way.
Hey, what are you guys talking about? We're in the middle of a break here.
Jason, you know how you've got all those extra cards from all those booster boxes you open? Mike says you can sell them online super easy.
No way, seriously? How? I've got to make room before this next set comes out.
Jason, whether you're new to the game or a seasoned vet, Armada Games has just what you're looking for. You can buy and sell your Destiny singles all from the comfort of your living room. Pre-order the latest sets of boosters and find the droids you are looking for. You can also check out their selection of Destiny accessories. And you'll get free shipping on orders over $75. For an even better deal, be sure to use the coupon code TheChanceCube and receive 5% off your Destiny purchase. Visit their website at shoparmada.com. Armada Games. Get in here and game.
But you know what I always say. Speak softly and drive a big tank.
We're back with Edwin Chen, the world champ.
Oh my.
How's it going, Edwin?
Good. A little bit tired, but feeling good. Take 3. Let's see if we can do it now.
Oh, shoot.
Excellent. Edwin, we're so very grateful that you decided to spend all your time talking to all of us people, because I'm sure we're like number 17 on a list of 54 podcasts who want to talk to you this week. But thank you for being generous with your time and letting us pick your brain a little bit about your world's experience.
Yeah, of course. That was a good time last time I was on, so yeah, happy to be on again.
Thanks, man.
Oh, it was like apparently we're welcoming, Kim. People like us. No.
It must be me.
Well, we got some questions here. We've pulled some questions from our supporters group, and then we will also take any questions from the chat at any time. So guys, feel free to throw questions in the chat. We'll answer them at the end. But first off, we just want to know, you brought Kylo Anakin to the World Championship. How long have you been playing that deck to get ready?
Let's see, Kylo Anakin, maybe 2 weeks. not much time, to be honest. I tinkered around with some other mono blue villain lists. I actually started playing new Darth Vader and Talzin. That was the deck I thought I was going to bring to Worlds, but then I went to a local tournament and did win a single game, so back on the scrap heap for that one.
At least you checked it,
But the concept there was just I wanted to play a deck that had no mercy in it, so I wanted to tinker around.
Yeah. That's cool. I was really excited with the first day we came down to the table and saw that, because we were seeing a lot of Poe Yondo. I keep calling that deck Yondo. Poe Hondo. Some Sabine Ezra, some vehicle decks. So this one absolutely stood out. So what synergies kind of made you feel like that deck had the right stuff if you only played it a couple weeks beforehand?
Like I said, I didn't get many reps with it, because I wanted to play a deck that I knew could have some pretty easy matchups. And with Rayla being so popular and Sabine being popular as well, I think just the deck itself, without just taking away all skill, favors me by quite a bit. So because I didn't have that many reps in, I wanted to play a deck that I knew could just give me some free wins in the tournament. And
that's awesome.
Kylo can do that.
Yeah. So how useful, you mentioned No Mercy, which is, I don't know that I saw, you might have, but at least we didn't see it on the stream a whole lot except when your deck came up. How useful was that card for you?
Let's see how many games. It's been a long week. I think it was 16 total or 18 total games I played and 16 wins. I would say 4 or 5 of them were won due to No Mercy, I think. So
wow.
That card just straight up won me a couple games because, especially in Swiss format, when no one knows really what's in your deck, if you can just cheat out for 4 extra damage in a turn and just kill off a character I wasn't expecting, it just wins you games.
Oh yeah.
For
yeah,
sure.
Get rid of those heavy hitters early on so that you can, Ezra can't do a whole lot if his best friend Sabine is wiped off.
Yep. So yeah, that card is pretty good. I know people are a little questioning it, but it won me. It did very well for me, so I'm very happy with it.
That's cool. It seems like one of those clutch cards you play, like when you know it's close to the end and that's the last kind of swing that you need.
Yeah, or even in the middle of the game, I can just hold on to it and think, hey, if I can win here, I can win here. So.
Yeah, and I think there was a lot of that this week, and there were a lot of people who were throwing a card or two that was like, this will be unexpected. Haven't seen either this in a while or not used it effectively. So Ken wanted to know exactly what made you decide on this deck.
Like I said, I was pretty busy leading up to Worlds, so I couldn't get as much practice as I wanted to. And Kylo just gives me a very good matchup against monocolored decks. So I knew I didn't have to practice that much against those types of decks, so I could just focus on just the other matchups that I might have trouble with. So really would just cut down on my practice time a lot because I'm just busy leading up to event.
And I just have to say, I have to commend you as a player to pick up a deck and play it, like you said, with not as many reps and walk away world champion. That speaks volumes to just the caliber of player that you really are.
Yeah.
And just how you think through your stuff, man. That's amazing.
Thanks. Some might come down a little bit luck, and just deck building, but all the deck building, I have to give credit to a lot of the guys that helped me out with all that stuff. So
that's awesome.
Excellent. Did you play any side events while you're there?
Yes. So I got in late Wednesday night, and I played pods all day Thursday.
You just couldn't get enough Destiny.
And I needed more practice with the deck. I needed to fit in about 10 more games with the deck, so I really had to practice it during the pod.
Oh, that's too funny.
And so, aside from winning, what do you think your favorite memory was from the week?
Just in general, meeting everyone from the community, just meeting people from all over the world, just pretty shows how great this game can be and the community that it has. I mean, winning's great, but really the whole point of it was just to meet a lot of people, hang out with a lot of the Destiny personalities I've seen or read about on the internet, and yeah, just hanging out and meeting other different people there, really.
Yeah, I think that's true for a lot of us.
Mm-hmm. Now, did you have a squad with you? I'm pretty sure I saw some. Did you have some friends come cheer you on?
Yeah, so I had some buddies, I don't know if you guys know, the guys from Arrowbrook, they're also from Jersey, same as me, so we all came down together, and they really, I think after the pods, I didn't do as hot as pods. I actually lost to a Ray Ayla in pods, and that really I wasn't expecting much from Worlds, because I lost to a deck I thought I had like an 80% win rate against, but we made some changes to the deck as a group, and yeah, it worked out in the end.
Nice.
What deck were you the least, or were you most worried about running into with your deck?
Probably vehicles and anything that had more than 2 colors, so any 3-color deck really. I would have to say I got pretty lucky in the matchups. I only played 1 rainbow deck the whole weekend, and I did manage to win that game. But yeah, I mean, like I said, Kylo can just win you games, and if you can't
That's cool.
get Kylo's ability, you get into a lot of trouble.
Yeah. Wow.
Going back to the deck that you brought, was there anything that you disliked about it that you would change if we were stuck in this meta for a little bit longer?
Yeah, definitely the one card that I would change is Intimidate. I was expecting a lot more mill than I saw at the event, and Mill is a really bad matchup for this deck. Intimidate ended up being a dead card for 95% of my matches. I think most of the time it was either discard a reroll or just a pitch for Anakin special. Yeah, that card I think I would maybe put in an Unyielding because Force Illusion gave me a little bit of trouble, and some other blue villain card probably. I'm not sure yet.
I'm looking at all these great questions. Now, one person to say not a question, but that crossguard play to kill Sabine was awesome. So you had a lot of people watching you on stream.
Yeah, I heard a lot of feedback from that play, but I actually talked to Mike after. I think the bigger one, to be honest, we agreed with was when I doubted a +2 mod that he had left sitting in his pool to prevent Lothcat, and I think that's what won that game.
Yes, I saw him mention that as well. Yeah, we were listening on the stream. We were driving home. We didn't. My co-pilot and I did not. Katie did not get to stay for the last day, so we were reliant upon Chance Cube Stream and Fantasy Flight so we could listen to everything that was happening on the way home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think going back to the crossguard play, I watched the stream a little bit too, and I think a lot of people didn't really know what happened, and just all of a sudden Mike had to turn his Sabine upside down or flip him around. So
that's crazy. I mean, it's plays like that just that's what separates, right? This was us commoners from people who are actually making the real there are so many decisions in this game that the more competitive and more skilled you get, are plays like that you need to doubt a die to prevent some other card from firing because you know it's getting ready to come and you don't want to lose this die. But I wouldn't be thinking about a Lothcat and Mouse or he doesn't like you. Like I'm just like, oh, damage, it would hurt me. So I mean, it's amazing that to put that much thought into that decision making. It kind of goes to Nate's question. He said because Destiny is a dice rolling game and the random factor of it being a potential deciding point in games, how do you go about building or playing to reduce the randomness and increase your chances of winning?
Sure. I think that's what people either complain about or like about Destiny is the dice rolling aspect of it. Yeah. I know that in my deck, a lot of people were skeptical for 2 reasons, really, with Kyle Anakin, because everyone's played it. It was just a natural pairing when it came out. But the problems people ran into were, one, all the pay sides were a huge problem for a lot of people. The resource management was actually, to be honest, a little bit tough for that deck. And second is that there's no way to kind of generate consistency. There's no focus. There's no really action cheating in the deck. There's no force speed or anything crazy. You're not doing anything real fancy. You're just trying to roll out your dice and hope for the best. And so that led up to the deck building aspect of it. You just want to build your deck so all your dice have a good chance of hitting the damage that you need. I mean, at the end of the day, this is an aggro deck. It wants to see 2 sticks on every single dice and resolve those sticks for damage. But luckily, Anakin and Kyle have amazing dice. 50% of the time, they're going to hit damage. So with those odds, most characters only hit damage about a third of the time. Half of the time hitting damage is a lot better. So if you look at my upgrade suite, all those upgrades have at least 50% damage size. And I'm just going to take those odds more compared to other characters or other dice.
That makes sense.
Sure.
So, and now going to that, one of our patrons, Mike, had a question about, is there a way to make this deck more budget-friendly that would let it run in a similar fashion? Or are the Ancients and Maul's Sabers really essential to...
Well,
I feel like the Ancient would be because of the healing that comes with it, but
the Ancient really won me a lot of games, especially in the rainbow color deck, just healing over and over. And I talked to a lot of people afterwards. They appreciated just being able to watch how they play with Ancients. I know a lot of people like to be greedy when they try to flip their Ancients at the very last moment when they only have a health left or just to heal to survive. The Ancient's actually it's a very good card, but also a very kind of a hard card to play with, to be honest, just to know when to heal. But yeah, to make that deck budget friendly, luckily the characters are all in starter decks. And before the version before Damien had run Maul Saber before, it ran a crafted lightsaber rather than Maul Saber. Okay. So if you really wanted to cut the Ancients and the Mauls, those are 3 legendaries. I would put in two crafted and probably 1 more heirloom, I think, if you really want to make it budget friendly. And nice. I think other than that, there would be no other legendaries in that deck.
Wow. Oh, wow. So it's pretty budget friendly to start. I mean, ancients are ancients, but
yeah,
they cost a lot because of what they're helpful. I mean,
wow. Mike also asked, it seemed in the finals like you were picking the outside card closest to the camera every time Kylo was activated. Was this intentional, and if so, why?
It was kind of intentional. All my matches on the top 16, when I activate Kylo, everyone was blindly shuffling their cards before I picked. I kind of just trusted these guys they won't try anything weird. But if they're shuffling their cards or shuffling the cards, they don't know where their cards are either. And I think I mentioned this in a comment, but it's just at that point, and I have other things to think about than pick try to randomly even generate a random card to pick. So just whatever is easiest for me, just easiest to pick. I just pick that one.
Wow,
that's cool.
Conserving personal thought resources. I like it.
I like it too. Well, really, your opponent's probably thinking, well, he's not going to guess. He's not going to pick that one again.
Yeah, like I said, and especially in the last matchup against a deck that had 28 blue cards, I wasn't really worried about not hitting it.
Yeah, nice.
For sure.
Now, I'll grab a question from the chat. I thought this was a great one. Somebody asked, how long are you going to take a break before playing Destiny again?
Hopefully FFG announces something about Store Champ soon. That'll probably be the next thing. If that comes before Nova, because I'm not actually going to be attending Gen Con. The schedule just didn't work out. It's just too close to Nova.
So it is, yeah.
And
Nova's better anyway, so it's totally cool.
Nova's a much easier drive for me to get, much easier to get to for me. So I'll be going to Nova, and maybe play some small local events here. But unless FFG announces anything special before Nova, I don't see myself playing that much, to be honest. Unless the new set comes out. If the new set comes out, I'll be playing a lot.
Yeah. Sure. Now, are you going to keep playing Anakin Kylo, or are you going to switch it up now that they've already proved their point?
I have to take my fancy battle droids out for a spin now. So
yeah.
There you go.
That's the next one, and I want to use the Maul's playmat, so I'm probably playing with Maul a little bit too. I have his spot class as well, so tinker around with that. But just for fun.
Awesome. Yeah.
Stuff.
Do me a favor, find a great Maul deck so I can finally play him. And man, I love him, but he's just not showing up.
He's not great. If you compare it,
taking the set off, man.
Not good. Kyle is much better than him, unfortunately.
I agree. Jason, what else? I see a couple more in the chat, but what else we got?
Everybody gets excited because the world champion at some point is going to get tapped to at least influence the card design in the future. Have they given you any hints or thoughts as to what that timeline looks like, and have you given any thoughts as to what you might do?
Oh, I talked to Jeremy very briefly after the event and just said we'll be in touch and soon. That's pretty vague.
Sounds like Jeremy.
Jeremy's a man of many words.
But regarding card, it's going to have to be a blue villain card, since that's what won me Worlds with blue villains, so it's got to be something like that. And something that does damage. I need to do something. Like cards that do damage.
Nice. That's exciting.
If you give me cooler, Edwin, if you could give me a cooler version of lightsaber throw too, that'd be great.
Yeah, that card was pushing the boundary a little bit. I almost put that slot in the deck. So
I love that card. It's sneaky, and I don't think people play it as often enough, so they're not expecting it as often. And you're like, oh, hey, by the way,
nice.
I think that card's very similar to No Mercy. I think when we were deciding between that, it's a very similar card to No Mercy, where it's just, oh sweet, I kill your character and you didn't see it coming.
Those are the best.
Yeah,
those are the best.
Excellent. So our buddy Joe Masalati says he's local to you and says congrats. So he wanted to express that. And then our resident troll in the chat says, tell Ed my sympathies on the Sharks losing to the Knights. Go Jets, go!
Yeah, it's a balance of the force, right? something's got to lose.
Right, you take home a win. You couldn't have both. Couldn't have them both. Right?
Couldn't have it all. Excellent. Edwin, thank you so much for joining us. We wish you the best in the Star Wars Destiny world. We all were very excited to see you win. And know you barreled through some favorites that were out there, and it was nice to see your name. Your name is a name we're familiar with, but it's not one that we expected to win. So we were very pleased, and it couldn't have gone to a nicer fellow.
Thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. We're not, but we've got some other. There's
Okay,
one
we got
other
more
set of
questions,
questions
alright.
here for him.
Oh, you want to do this? I didn't know if he did this last time he was on the show or not.
Well, he may have new answers,
Okay.
and we may have changed a couple of the questions. Hang on, I'm going to change one. Please hold. I think we may have asked him this. So, because Edwin, you like Star Wars, right?
Yeah, of course. That's why I play this game. That's why I play this crazy
you don't
game.
get that answer from everybody, but I knew you were a big Star Wars fan from when you talked to us before. So you may have done the Emperor Palpatine lightning round with us before. Do you remember? We give you a bunch of rapid fire questions.
Yes.
All right.
Remember.
These may be very similar, but we'll see if you gave us the same. For those who really listen, they can go back and compare and see if Edwin has changed since the last time he was on. We'll have to jazz these up. I'll have to get with Mike, and we'll have to start. Now that we've had, if you keep winning stuff, I'm going to have to change all the questions around. So I will fire these questions off at you, and you give me the first answer that comes to mind. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right. Favorite Star Wars character?
Darth Vader.
Aha. Dark side, light side.
Dark side.
Favorite game of all time?
Last time I said Final Fantasy IX, but yeah, stick with it.
Nice. So, favorite game snack?
I think right now it's Ruffles and Fritos, some type of very simple, bland potato chip.
Crunchy goodness. So, what do you wash it down with?
Water. Just water for me.
Oh, you're a good, healthy guy.
Yeah.
So, now, PX4, Xbox One, Switch, PC, mobile, or tabletop only?
Let's see. I got PC, PlayStation, and Switch, and of course tabletop. A little bit of everything.
Nice. That's awesome. So, friend's basement or your friendly local game store?
Local game store. Like getting out there.
And lastly, is Phasma dead?
No, of course not.
She never dies. Long live Phasma and her insignificant roles.
So, Edwin, is there anybody else you want to give a shout out to anybody? Or if anybody wants to, I know I see you over in the Star Wars Destiny group, so you're not super hard to find if anybody has questions.
Yeah, shout out to just all the guys in the New Jersey, New York area. Like I said, their playstyle and their meta really shaped my deck and what I do. Special shout out to the guys from Arrowbrook Gaming. They did grinded a lot of TTS games. They helped me in my matchup that I thought was very bad and helped grind out my, I think, game to qualify for top 16. So shout out to them. Besides that, yeah, that's pretty much it. If anyone has any questions about the deck or anything about Destiny, I'm on Facebook. I'm in the group. Just search Edwin Chen. You'll find me. Feel free to reach out.
Awesome. Well, congratulations again.
Absolutely.
Like Jason said, we were so stoked to see a familiar face and a familiar name just tearing it up. And I can't wait to see what you put together next.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, it was a really fun weekend. Shout out to you guys for all the streaming, all the work you did. I think it couldn't be easy. I think you guys had to actually be there every day. I took Saturday off. I didn't go to the game center on Saturday. We went to a nice little escape room in Minnesota. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, cool! That's a good way to de-stress and prep before the finals. That's probably a really good move on your part, really.
Yeah, exactly. It was a puzzle room, and right next to it was a brewery, so very relaxing.
Nice.
Nothing Star Wars Destiny related before.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think I've been dreaming. I think I've had dice in most of my dreams ever since. So we'll get some rest, and we hope to chat with you again soon with whatever the next win's going to be.
Hopefully soon, but we'll see.
Awesome. All right, take care, man.
Great,
Thanks,
Edwin.
guys.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
The Jedi! What do you know?
I know I posted on the Facebook group, but man, thanks to everybody that stopped by and chatted with us at Worlds or was on some of the streams in the chat, just kind of helping us along. We made a new friend from Ireland who also is a content provider, couldn't be at Worlds, so hopefully we'll have him on the show soon. Mm-hmm. Sith Holocron, so that should be pretty cool. And we're going to have His Royal Highness himself, Jeremy, here pretty soon. What a great guy to chat with, too. Like, he's such a just down-to-earth guy that'll walk up and chat with you. Wear a Marshall badge when you make it for him. it was. This being my first Worlds, it was a great experience to hang out with you guys and meet people that you just see their names on Facebook a lot. Get to meet those content providers from all across the globe, and like I said in the beginning of the show, it was, man, they all couldn't be nicer. So fun times, long drive. It was a long drive. I don't know that I'm going to drive it next. That was a long drive.
Was a long drive for sure. So, but what about Star Wars? Like, I feel like there hasn't been a whole lot of Star Wars. There's a new movie coming.
There's this movie coming. I haven't bought my tickets yet.
I apparently have tickets. So some buddies of ours who are going to meet up at KubaCon bought us tickets, which is really nice of them. So looking for a shout out to the Selkies out in the Seattle area. So we'll meet up with them and, yeah.
That's cool.
Go see some Star Wars at oh gosh, what's the theater chain up there? It's getting lots of love. Some sort of brew house. It doesn't sound like a theater, but you know what I'm talking about.
But is it one that you can eat while you watch the movie?
That's what it sounds like.
Those are cool. Although I will tell you, if you watch a movie that's dark, which this one could be, get stuff that you don't have to see. Like, don't get a wrap. Don't get things you have to, like, try to match up to your face to eat, because it's way harder than you think it is.
Understood.
We went to one of those, and I had some kind of chicken wrap thing, and this was years ago. It was one of the new Alice in Wonderland movies that Johnny Depp was in. But you're like, I'd love to eat, but I can't see my food. So French fries and stuff are way more manageable. Finger food stuff, because otherwise you're just going to get chicken wrap up your nose.
Got it. Well,
words of wisdom from Kim.
Well, just arrived for me today. I'm super stoked about this, to flip through it. This is the Star Wars Lost Stars manga.
That's interesting.
So in Japan, they released this, and they just got it translated. It is the entire Lost Stars
I think everything is manga.
In anime style.
Don't those read back to front or something weird like that, right to left?
They left to right, because that's how they do it. It's not weird. It's culturally normal in Japan.
It's culturally normal in Japan, but will confuse the ever-loving bejesus out of me.
Yeah, so it's volume 1, so I don't know how far this goes. Have you read Lost Stars, the book? You have not? Okay.
I'm behind in my reading.
It is good stuff. But, it's a very Romeo and Juliet type story that spans the entire classic trilogy. But if you're into manga, comic books, not so much into the actual, like real books with words, this has got all of them, and in that style. So it's really cool. I'm digging. Going to flip through this. It's gonna be super fun.
Cool. Well, and then we haven't had a chance to talk about that new Dave Filoni, not Filoni. I'm tired. That is also an anime style series that's coming out.
There is.
I don't recall when it comes out, but it's going to be anime style and take place around the time of The Force Awakens.
Yep, Star Wars Resistance. Sometime this fall. Yeah. They didn't give a date, but fall.
The voice cast looks great, and they've got Isaac coming to voice Poe occasionally, and Gwendolyn Christie coming to voice Phasma. BB-8's supposed to be involved, so he'll beep his way around the galaxy.
Yeah.
It wasn't the series I was hoping for.
Me neither. I was hoping for a Jedi Academy Luke Skywalker series, but it's all good.
But I can live with it. And maybe Disney's holding back all that stuff for when they launch their streaming service. Like, we're all crazy if we think we're getting it sooner than that.
Right. It's gonna be good.
We have a question from Joe. What's the one character from Star Wars that you are surprised has not appeared in Destiny yet? You're probably going to have better answers than I do, because you know more. I know who I'd like to see. But then that also requires her to be made canon.
Who's that?
Mara. I want Mara Jade.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
It's not. It doesn't fit the right storyline.
No. That's a good question. Has every major character been in Destiny so far? Lando, Han, Chewie, Falcon. We've got all the major ships, for the most part.
You've got all your friends. We got all your Rebel friends. I'm thinking everybody from... we don't have Satine.
Oh, yeah.
And I like Satine a lot.
Obi-Wan's girlfriend?
Friend. Just a friend that's a girl.
I'm just saying. She'd be a good one to have. We've got Dooku and Maul, right?
That's going to be a mill or some kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
And do we have, why can I only think of Jimmy Smits? Because that's the actor that plays him. Leia's dad. He's not, thank you. Yeah. He's not a character yet either.
Mm-mm. That would be a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really surprised he's not in it yet, though.
No, because I don't know they're probably trying to figure out what would they do, what would they bring to the table. They're probably going to maybe be mill.
Mm.
There was at least one mill deck that made it, that was doing okay. I didn't see anything other than Sugi's mill deck. I didn't hear a lot more mill at Worlds. Maybe there were a couple more, but it started out pretty good. It was pretty hot.
Yeah.
Oh, mill.
An X-Wing? Just an X-Wing? Oh, or a Dengar. Dengar would be good.
Oh, that's true. Just an X-Wing isn't out there, and that's unfortunate.
Generic X-Wing. We have Y-Wings. Well, in that case, I want a B-Wing.
A, B, C, D.
Dengar's good.
So,
there's a whole assortment of bounty hunters, which would be good, but...
Yeah. So, I guess that just means we have more things to look forward to. Who knows what could be the next set? They haven't spoiled very many cards.
So, everyone, thanks for joining us tonight. We're glad to have Edwin on the show. For those who are watching the show later, feel free to come join us at 9 o'clock on Tuesday evenings Eastern Daylight Time, where you can join the chat and hang out with us live on the show. Thanks to those of you who are out there live right now. And
Captain Rex. Yeah,
Captain Rex would be a good one. And
we're
looking forward to next week. Hopefully we'll have some good guests lined up for you guys. And if our plan right now is to touch a little bit on maybe a little bit on Bo-Katan, because I think she's got some interesting possibilities in the next set.
I need to sit down and think about some deck pairings, and then who knows what we're going to get in the set that maybe there's already some. Usually there isn't. I bet she's going to pair good with somebody that's already out there.
There's
or we'll have to wait on. Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Maybe something exciting will happen between now and then, and the whole plan for next week's show just totally gets up in flames.
Knows? Because they never drop news right after we host a show.
No, never. Probably tomorrow at 5 o'clock.
Every week. Every week they'll announce. Tomorrow at 5 o'clock they'll announce. Or store championships. So, yeah, we want to hear from you guys, too. What are you hoping to hear from? So hit us up on the Facebook page. You can find us on Twitter. You can email Jason or I or Mike. I always jokingly say to send all your hate mail to Mike, but he'll chat decks with you as well. Give us a holler. We'll see you next Tuesday. Same X-Wing time, same X-Wing channel.
This has been The Chance Cube, a Star Wars Destiny podcast, a non-profit organization dedicated to building community through gaming. Visit our website for all things Star Wars Destiny, including our price watch, meta tracker, and latest articles from the Chance Cube family. Find our latest videos on YouTube, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and visit us at patreon.com/thechancecube. Your patronage allows us to grow this program and help us give back to the gaming community by sponsoring events, giveaways, and supporting our own community building initiatives. This is Mike Hill, the voice of the Chance Cube. Thanks for listening. The Chance Cube is not affiliated with Fantasy Flight Games, Lucasfilms, or the Walt Disney Company.